6:01 on a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world, weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Listen, it is as pretty as can be. Absolutely stunning as we peek outside on our downtown Orlando tower cam. Skies are clear. It's a nice day. It's going to be a beautiful day, but it is oh so much that summer's pattern, isn't it? That blue sky helps to blow up the showers and thunder showers. Right now, first warning live Doppler radar, rain free in the area. Highest resolution radar in Central Florida. Love that. Love that. All right, let's track, see what's doing. Temperatures out the door, 70s, area wide. Oh, summer. Oh, summer. Yep. Yep. All right, where do we go from here? So we quickly climb from the 70s to the 80s, right? We're going to be hanging out. I'll be hanging out right at about 86 degrees, 11 o'clock. 89 degrees for us 1 p.m. and into the 90s by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's going to be a toasty warm afternoon. Nothing out of control, but a toasty warm afternoon. Then we get into that 40-50% coverage of showers and thunder showers. Little by little. Little by little. It is what it is. What are you going to do? All right, so let's talk about today's forecast then. Area wide. So high temperatures today, nice and toasty, right? Here's a look around Central Florida, okay? We kind of hang out little by little. Those temperatures are going to climb, though. 95 degrees out west at Ocala, 94 degrees in Leesburg, 92 in Orlando. Yeah, that average high temperature has now climbed to 90 degrees, so we're absolutely there. Yep. Yep. Good times. All right. So that's where we're at. Let's take a look at Futurecast, just kind of get an idea of how today's storms fire up. All right. We hit that button. We hit that button. All right. So here's Futurecast. I'll bring it full screen. You don't need to see my ugly mug. Right. All right. So this morning, starting off beautifully. Love that. Right. All right. 10, 11, 12 o'clock. A few showers already popping. Brevard County. Looking at you. Look at that. By about 1 o'clock, starting to see some stuff bubbling up. And then there you go. Boom goes the dynamite. 4, 5 o'clock, sea breeze collision. That's where the stuff could try to get a little feisty. And then everything eventually blows back off to the east before tapering off 7, 8, 9 o'clock or so. So that's kind of where we're at today, my friends. Rain chances continuing on their trajectory for us. Here's a look at the coverage map. Right? Watching those rain chances kind of hanging out across the interior, right? That's kind of where we're at. There's your highest coverage is going to be right across the interior. So just plan for it. All right. Questions about today before we move on? There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk. For example, we had not only did we have funnel clouds reported yesterday, but I even saw some videos. A couple of people sent me videos of a tornado touching down, or either a tornado or a water spout, but something touching down out near Waterford Lakes. Yesterday was feisty. All the things. Isn't that something? Yeah, Waterford Lakes area, Jeannie Rowan. It didn't look like, thankfully, it was anything too powerful. But it definitely was a very quick kind of little spin up. So kind of interesting how that played out. Let me pop up here it's all off the radar. So I'll go to the radar and then hit that button, and then we'll come over here and change that to there. All right, there we are. So here are the reports. Weather Service got a couple of reports and we'll just read those real fast. Wherever that button is, there you are. All right. So this report, Bithlow funnel cloud looking about 5 miles from his location, which had dissipated prior to the report, and then back over toward Union Park, funnel near the intersection of Alafaya Trail and the 408. I saw an actual touchdown. Doesn't mean that it got relayed to the National Weather Service. It doesn't seem like it did, but yeah. So there's that. Wind gust report down at the Orlando International Airport, 56-mile-per-hour gust. So it was a nice feisty bunch. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So in terms of severe weather threats for today, most of that concern is going to be to the north, right? Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then over to Texas. That's kind of the threats today, the main threats for severe weather. But we could see a couple of feisty pop-ups around Central Florida. All right. So that's kind of where we're at. So let's do this. Let's look at the 7-day forecast together. And then from here, we can kind of review and then eventually parlay out into the tropics. All right. Looks pretty good. Sounds pretty good to me. Priscilla says grass is activated. It's the only downfall. I know. Good times. Good times. Yep. William, of course, William's asking if there's going to be a tropical storm next week in Florida. Slow down. We're going to talk about the tropics in just a couple of minutes' time. Any questions about our forecast right now? One thing I do want to point out, look at the 7-day forecast, and I spy with my little eye drier days ahead. Do we have one more weak front? Yeah, maybe. Does that weak front mean that we would reset the rainy season schedule? Yeah, maybe. Look at that. For now, Sunday, Monday looking a bit drier. If that's the case, then yeah. So, cold front arrives. For now, it looks like we have not. See, this is subject to change, but at the moment, it looks like a very weak front comes in this weekend. So let's look at the setup. There's Saturday. There's that front. Models push it far enough south. And if that's the case, it dries us out and it even cools us down. Hold on one second. All right, apologies. But to that point, I would caution that this time of year, you can't promise that these fronts are going to do this. So at the moment, at least, it looks like it would try to move through, but we have to watch. Model run to model run will change things around. But remember, this time of year, anytime you get a front sneaking in, as this one would, it resets, dries us out Sunday, Monday, and would reset the ticker for the rainy season. Today is the climatological start of the rainy season. It doesn't mean that it happens. It's not on a calendar date. It's rather on a weather pattern. So we've been in it, but that front would reset the timer and restart. So yeah, we'll see if this front comes through. At the end of the day, we'll see what happens here. How rare is a cold front plunges that far south? Joel's asking. Sometimes it happens this time of year. It's nothing is set in stone. Sometimes it happens. Right? Flip the rain switch. I mean, we've got storms in the forecast. The rainy season has set up, but that front would reset the official start of the rainy season. It keeps wanting to set up. It only counts when it sticks. And essentially, this front would stop it from sticking, at least for a little while. If that makes sense. Right? All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Anything about this before we go into the tropics? Because I do want to talk about the tropics, and we'll discuss like this front with that broader scope of the models as well. But before we do that, let's just eyeball the 7-day forecast and go over anything you may have. Justin says definitely over my head. What do you mean what's definitely over your head? Let's talk about it. There shouldn't be anything definitely over your head. It's my goal to keep everything at your head. Since the rainy season doesn't seem to include us bring on the front. I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Buenos dias. We really need the rain. Good morning, Sylvia. Supposed to go to Jacksonville today. Would you reschedule? Why? The next few months are going to be stormy in the afternoons. Go to Jacksonville. Don't let that stop you. All right. Let's look out to the tropics. First off, let's just count it down. We've got 5 mere days until the start of hurricane season. Tropical satellite, nice and quiet. No development expected over the next couple of days' time. So there's that. Right? There's that to start with. All right. Let's discuss. First off, this is the American GFS model. Okay. We're looking good. Stepping through time, high pressure. This is Thursday. This is Friday. There's that front. Sneaking down. Yeah, I mean, oh man, it's tough. Like the model, it's sneaking in. Does it make it all the way through? That's a hard, just a hard call. Yep. All right. So let's just keep going forward. All that moisture. High pressure building in. That's the 8th of June. Trying to put something tropical together next the week of the 11th. Texas. Yeah, interesting. We've got the slow Gulf low part of the pattern. That wouldn't go to Texas. Let's go back from the 6Z to the 0Z. There's the front. Well, aren't you getting feisty? Again, deterministic models are guidance, not gospel. So don't read too much into that. This is the 18Z. Remember, the GFS has a vorticity bias. So toward the end of the model, it loves to develop these, hypocanes. But I do think, early June, there's probably going to be something around. All right, let's switch over to the Euro. I mean, the Euro's showing something out in the Gulf. The slow Gulf low part of the pattern is cycling, so hopefully it doesn't go to Texas. That would not be where I would put it. Yeah, I would put it more kind of this area here. That's around the 5th. High pressure builds in. All right. At any rate, I would suspect that we're going to end up with something in the Gulf the next couple of weeks. But for now, the tropics remain quiet. So keep that in mind, okay? All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything. Anything. Questions, comments, concerns. How far does the AI go out? It's been pretty good. Yeah, I didn't even check that. Let me pop that back up real fast. I didn't check the Euro AI. I mean, it goes out. I just don't have a basis for comparison with it. High pressure. I mean, it's really not developing much through the 11th. Let's go back a run. Yeah, see, it's a much quieter product. So, yeah. Will it rain if my car Will it rain on my car as I drive, Debbie? You're a putz. Drive in some rain, it'll rain on your car. Yeah. Late this morning. Good morning. Time to load chlorine for the pool. It's that time. Yeah, it is. It is. Don is asking, are there places still below normal for rainfall? Absolutely. Yeah, there's if we look at the yearly numbers. I mean, yeah. Orlando's in a surplus now. But look, Leesburg, Daytona Beach, and Melbourne still 4 or 5 inches of rain behind where we should be for the year. So we are still in a deficit in many of our Central Florida reporting stations, our climate stations. Absolutely. Yep. I'm in South Carolina and they're talking about a CAD. A CAD or a CAG? What about a free ride, Roberto, when you've already paid, right? Cece, good morning. You as well. Kelly's asking about Ocala. Yeah, I mean there's we discussed where the storms were popping up, but yeah, there's some around. Yeah. Lori, my pleasure. Absolutely. Matt says Leesburg is always dry. I mean, not always. It is right now and maybe recent memory, but it's not always. CAD, CAD? I don't know what a CAD is. I think it dropped a few inches an hour in Oviedo yesterday, right around 6:30. So here, Tony made a couple of graphics. It's going to say rainfall. Let's see. This is from yesterday. It says today. Ignore that part. 3 inches of rain. Horizon West, Sand Lake, Summer Lake, Pierce, Pompeii, Port Orange. Yeah. So he didn't do Oviedo. I can look. Give me a second. I'll look off. I don't have it. So because I'm doing coffee talk in the car, I don't have this like set up to be able to show you, but I can look it up real fast. Stand by. Okay. Sites. We'll do historical. We'll do precipitation. 5:26 at 7 a.m. to 5:27 at 8 a.m. Today's the 27th. All right. Oviedo. I mean, I've got in Oviedo 0.91 inches of rainfall. But just down the road near UCF, at UCF, 3.49 inches of rainfall. So I suppose to that point, like it was feast or famine. Oviedo got less than an inch, but UCF just across got, 3.5 inches of rainfall. So to that point, yeah. Roberto, yeah. Why are you in the car? First off, because I'm cruising. Second off, so I'm at the Orlando Science Center again today. We are taping Kidscast today, which if you are unfamiliar what Kidscast is, it's something we started last year. Nancy and I did, and it's talking about hurricanes with kids, hoping to keep them calmer, as scary storms pop up, we'll say, right? So we had a really, really, really great reception to it last year. And cold air damming. Okay, I thought we were talking about low pressure. Gotcha, Jamie. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with that. But yeah, so Kidscast is something that I think is very special. Yes, I'm familiar now. Now I'm familiar with that. I just didn't understand. I've never heard it called a CAD before. I've just always heard it called cold air damming. Yeah. Hold on one second. I apologize. Oh, Kidscast. I guess it really depends on your target audience. Yes, Kidscast. So it was one of those things that we did last year, so that as a hurricane was coming, it was a way to talk to people, to calm them down, that sort of thing. So yeah, eh, hurricanes are scary for adults. They're scary for kids. So we wanted to help them out. Then this afternoon, I'm heading to Coco. I had discussed that yesterday. Where is this thing? Hold on. Standby. Where is this? It's at Coco City Hall, so 65 Stone Street. I'll be out there from 4 to 6 today talking all about the hurricanes and stuff. So if you're around Coco City Hall, come by and say hi. Says, hi, Eric. Where was the rain yesterday? Uh-oh. Oh, all right. There's my signal back. It surely wasn't in Altamont Springs. Didn't get much rain where I was either, Mary. Yeah. No, not cats. Cast. Kids cast. Here, let me find it from Wesh Kids Cast. This is from last year. Here, give me a second. I'll put it up here. Hold on. Give me a second. Paste. Do that. Turn it on. Hold on. I know. I got to make it small. Hold on. I'm fixing this. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay. If I do that, I do that, scroll down, hit play. Of course, there's an advertisement. Got to get paid. Hold on. Skip ad. Okay. This is Kidscast.
About the kids. We each have kids. We know how curious they are about everything, and everything includes the weather.
That's right. And as parents, we know storms can be really scary. So we want to know how we can help keep kids calm and help them really understand what's happening.
So we asked kids to send in their questions.
Now, a couple of funny things about this. She and I were not even standing in the same room together because we couldn't get days to work together. We couldn't get the schedules together for it. So to that point, we taped it on separate days, nowhere near each other. But we're trying to do it a little differently this year. So anyway, this is Kidscast, where we just kind of discuss all of the things to help kids understand. So anyway, that's that. It was fun to do. I'm hoping that we can do it even better this year. You know, that's the hope at least. So there's that. All right. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Melanie says, I love the Kidscast idea. It was so well received during the season. I'm hoping that this year's will be even better. That's my goal. Yeah. Did you coordinate your outfits? No, I've never been a part of that. I'm not that guy. That's just not my deal. So you all did that through, wait for it, the cloud. Oh, Oliver, you're killing me. Oh my God. You're killing me. Not a kid, I need it. Well, we're here for this too. Yeah. We got you covered. But it was a very special idea, you know. We took all kinds of let me just skip around through. We took all kinds of questions and did our best to help out however we could. Yeah, how to hurricane, talking about pulling water out of the Gulf. It was just a lot, we got into the hurricane wind categories. And not funny though. Like, the magic of TV is kind of a funny bugger. We are not together at all, and yet I think that's just amazing, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, so fun. Anyway, all right. How do I gain access or get my grandkids involved through Kidscast? Well, we're going to be at the Orlando Science Center taping today, so there's the answer. Yeah. All right. On a day I'm off would be great. Roberto says. What? When a hurricane hits? When a hurricane hits, I don't know how to say this. You and I are not off. Even if we're off, we're not off. Betty says it's a good thing to do. One good taping may be usable for years on replay. We did it last year. It was nominated for an Emmy. We want to do it better this year. And you know, the thing about it is stuff gets stale. You could say it'll sit on the shelf and be fine. We don't want things to get stale. So I would imagine we're going to do it this year, and we're going to try and do it better next year. So anyway, there's that. All right. All right, that's all I got. Questions, comments, concerns about it. Tropics may be trying to wake up a little bit. Nothing of significant concern, but it may be a thing. All right. All right. Oh, Kidscast taping. Yeah, we're taping today. You're not. We're here with Kirby today. Kirby's gonna be hanging out with us. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything? Are we good? Yet, Frank says. I know, but this is one of those we'll have to watch the recycles, right? All right, listen. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Does that sound good? Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. All right, take care.